Okay, so hand in glove sort of thing here in terms of um, symbolic gesturing of wanting to be privy of knowledge from another group of people. I want to make a video about Russia, right? And so thanks for watching the video. I obviously really appreciate it. And if you aren't already, please be a subscriber, or at least consider. Maybe even a like, perhaps a comment to get the page engaging so that I can hear all of your cool and interesting thoughts, and including about the subject that we're talking about now, which is Russia. You know, I don't care what my school tried to teach me about you, Russia, which in all fairness would be really nothing, as far as the indifference goes, which again is unfortunate because I want to know about y'all, right? And so at least I wasn't sold, a bunch of lies in terms of, I would argue, kind of maybe how we choose to focus on the dissemination of Russian information here amongst Americans in general in today's environment, maybe with a little bias on it or whatever in terms of however that Western rhetoric wants to be skewed. But this is a Western boy right here who is all about equality for everyone, regardless of race, creed, ethnicity, makeup of religion, or identification of sexual identity, which is something that we disagree with, unfortunately, my friends in Russia, as far as the human rights aspect goes with the LGBTQ movement. And that's it, right? And so I want to talk about some really cool things about Russia. And again, obviously, the one not big, really cool thing being their no policy or tolerance for LGBTQ rights, the recognition of such. And so again, right, just to be clear, Russia, we are not cool on that one, you and I. But I will tell you that I'm about to tell everyone else here in America, and I will continue to forevermore, in terms of the good things about your wonderful and beautiful and very large country. So let's obviously start with the elephant in the room, or I guess as it would be, the country in the world, which is literally 1/7 of the Earth's entire landmass. It's a seventh of it. And so Russia spans 11 different time zones. It is an incredibly diverse place, home to more than 1,100 cities. There are a number of different religions that take place, that are practiced there. They have a place that is called the Red Square, and its significance is on a level for every human being on this planet, I'd argue, pretty vital as far as what humans are capable of doing, and the architectural design, and again the arts and sciences that are directly applicated to that sort of principle, and large scale construction and design efforts and stuff. And so beautiful place, right? Red Square, one of the most beautiful place. I think the logo for Disney maybe even might have borrowed some of y'all's sort of symbolism there, or symbology as it would be. But yeah, I'm just saying, beautiful place, right? It's interesting, and it's really cool to know that Russia's got some major accomplishments under its belt. So I know, I'm from the US, and I guess if we were competing in the Olympics in a gentleman kind of a way, I'd be going for the US, right? Because I'm, on this team. But as it concerns monuments that are achieved that are highly positive and indicative of real progress in arts and sciences as a human being, I will definitely give credit where credit is due. So, for example, you have sent, the first man in space as well as the first woman. So let's give shout outs to Yuri Gagarin, who was the first man ever to be in space, a Russian, as well as Valentina Tereshkova, who has the same name as my daughter, or my daughter has the same name as her. So, hey, what do you think about that, Russia? My daughter has the same name as the woman who was ultimately the first woman to ever be in space. With all due respect, Valentina Tereshkova. So, I think that's a pretty cool little thing. I had no idea of the coincidence there with my daughter's name and the first woman in space, but I will definitely always have that as some sort of like empowering kind of a statement for her, in that ironically, coincidentally, she was, named after the first woman in space, who ironically is a Russian. So Russia, how can you not be close to my heart? Seriously, in terms of just the history and your ultimate influence across the world, which is just like mine over here and ours as a country in America, right? Which is pretty large, impactful, and can quite literally change the course of how things are headed in a positive way, right? Let's not get all Cold War here, because that was then and this is now, and it's important that we work together. And so I know that, for example, there's also a museum called the Hermitage. It's got over 3 million artifacts, and it's one of the world's most prestigious museum. And so I will leave you with a cool geological fact, and that's that Russia is home to the largest and deepest freshwater lake in the entire world, Lake Baikal. And again, so, we've talked about some things that make Russia a really cool place. We've already identified what I think as Americans we can collectively say we dislike about Russian policy, right? Which is, again, just probably, with all due respect there in Russia, just a little more practice on the acceptance of others. Especially if it doesn't infringe upon what you got going on, right? As long as no one's bothering you, Mr. Putin, as far as unwanted advances from the same sex, I'd be pretty fair to say that, like, it's okay, dude. Let other people do what they need to do. But regardless, Russia is still one of the most industrialized countries in the world. It's a really cool place of lots of diversity, other than the things we've discussed, and it's got a lot of really cool history and a lot of really cool things to see on a geographical level. Again, it's a seventh of the entire world's landmass. So I leave you with these things about good old Russia. And so, Russia, we send you, our greetings and salutations, right? Especially normal to normal people, right? This isn't an exchange amongst governmental agents or, double agent spies or anything weird. This is like human to human, real talk. Russia, good looking out. You guys stay sharp and clean over there. And, we'll also try to do the same over here in America as it relates, right? So keep it real, keep it cool, and now I guess keep it Russian, because we don't know all that much about Russia, and I am happy to learn and hopefully teach other people a little bit more about all the good stuff in Russia.